Alright, a lot of people are getting into the hobby now and picking up helicopters. A lot of them don't know how to get into the first flights. Many people don't even have people around. They can't join a club. They're picking them up out by themselves and learning how to fly. So this is hopefully going to help some people get into the first hovers. I'm going to cover many more advanced moves. But this video is really just saying, okay, you've got a helicopter, now what? And trying to save you a little bit of parts. I mean, everybody's going to crash. Hopefully you bought a helicopter that has good parts availability, at least across the internet. I'll go through more moves in different videos and how to get you up and flying. This video is just going to be about how to get into your first hover, what you're going to do to work up to your first hover, really. I've been flying about 2 years. I can do pyro flips and some other more advanced maneuvers. But it still took me about 2 weeks to be able to just get into my first hover. You don't need to rush it. You should just take your time and work on the controls that you need to be able to hold a steady hover. Now, really, I'm going to use this little model because it's so much easier to get into the video. Before you hover, you want to make sure that you can hold the tail. You want to make sure the tail stays this way. As soon as it gets this way, or in any other orientation, you're going to lose control. As soon as the controls turn this way on the transmitter, they're all turned around. Let me go get the transmitter and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, now with the tail towards you, if you push forward, the helicopter is going to start flying forward. You push back a little bit to get it level out or stop it. On the ground, really, you want to be using this to keep the tail straight. You bring it up until it's light on its skids, and this one you move it to the right a little bit because it'll start sliding left, and then you just try to keep it in a square. Don't try to get it off the ground, just keep it light on its skids. If your tail gets away from you, set it down, straighten out the helicopter, bring it back up. Again, use this to control the tail. Now to cover this, because a lot of people might have the helicopter set up reversed, when you press this to the right, the nose goes to the right. Press it to the left, nose goes to the left. Now if that's reversed, you want to get that sorted out now before you get into your first hover. Make sure that's clear. Now really, like I say, you want to spend a while just having it light on its skids. As it's getting ready to come off the ground, it's going to want to scoot left. You'll think something's wrong with your helicopter, but what it's doing is it's sucking air out from this side and putting it on this side, making the helicopter tip. So as it's getting light on its skids, you'll want to give a little bit of right input, just a little bit, and keep it light on its skids. Now you don't want to get into a hover at first. This is really before your first hover. You want to be pretty confident with this. It'll take some people longer than others. Some people just have a natural knack at it. Other people will, take a few weeks. I mean, I took a few weeks to get it into a stable hover, but I also learned on one of these, which is a little bit more difficult. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully that'll cover it for you. Next video we'll get into what it actually takes to get into a hover, and what you should think about when you get into a hover, because you're going to have to sit it back down too, and hopefully not break anything. Now a lot of people put landing gear, stabilization gear on there so that the helicopter doesn't tip over. I never used it, but I probably paid for it. A lot of people will put the training gear on there so that with the carbon rod and probably the balls on the end, that can get stuck in grass. Really good for driveways and that sort of thing, though, or gymnasiums or flight fields that have runways. It might save you a few crashes. Once you're into a hover, or even getting close to doing side-in or figure eights, you want to probably take it off. But it's just to help you when you're just scooting around on the ground. Hope that helps. It's a start anyway. Have fun, keep flying, guys. Take care.